Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center. Welcome to the world of magic and miracles, and so much more. It's such a delight and honor and privilege to broadcast, to share the energies and frequencies that are available to me, to all of you across the world, across the universe, to all dimensions. So welcome with all my heart. It is a beautiful new day here on planet Earth. I went out for a walk today and was just struck by the feeling of newness and unity as I wished a good morning to all the people I passed, saying hello to all the trees and the birds. And as I arrived back to the house, I was met by two dragonflies, one who was insistent on getting my attention. So what was communicated, I don't know, but it was a beautiful feeling. So it's been a month since I broadcast. It feels like a lifetime ago, but I'm delighted to be back. So much has happened in that time for all of us. It's just sometimes we can't quite see how far we've come, the steps we've taken. It may look just like yesterday or last week or last month, but it has been quite a time as my sister flew out for 2 weeks from Bonnie, Scotland, which was just wonderful to see her, as it's been a whole year. But no time has passed when you reconnect with someone you love. And it was especially magical to feel our mother, who left this physical plane over 20 years ago, and I could feel her delight, her joy that we were together. It was a remarkable feeling. We had an experience maybe 2 days into her visit where we were catching up, just the two of us in the evening, and all of a sudden the kitchen light came on, which has never done that before. But I knew that was our mum getting our attention, showing her love and excitement that we were together again. And I don't remember the day after, but I And I don't have words, so I'll transmit the feeling. But I connected with the being that was my mother in a new way, and it almost blew my head off. The love and the ecstasy and joy to connect in that way. So I have no words, but it was utterly fabulous. A true gift. I look forward to many more of them because I know she is always here. All of our loved ones who have left this physical plane are all around us, but we get swept up in the rhythm, the obligations and routines that we have here on earth. Going to work, all of that. And we can be consumed. And it's the same with connecting with your creator. That connection is there, uninterrupted, every moment of every day. But again, we can be caught up in the hustle and bustle. So I encourage you to connect and leave that connection always on. And in doing so, you circumvent the brain and all the ingredients that may go into steering those thoughts in ways where before we know it, we're trying to control something. And that is inevitably from a place of fear. And as I walk today in the sunshine, I was struck by an experience I had over 30 years ago when I was 21, 22. This is before the internet, before I had a cell phone, and I wanted to travel. And I was led to travel to a kibbutz in Israel. And the only knowledge I had was what I had gained from, I think it was a Lonely Planet guidebook. And in there, it talked of an organization that would place you on a kibbutz for a fee. And I was a poor skint student, and I'd used my savings from working in a bar to buy a ticket. I think it was a one-way ticket. So I booked my flight with no planning. I just thought, I'll figure it out. when I get there. And it was such an example of going in your flow and knowing that you're looked after. Because I caught a bus from Aberdeen to Gatwick, boarded a flight, and arrived in Tel Aviv. And it just so happened there was construction going on there. So we were all funneled outside. There was no arrival hall. And I was looking around going, what the fuck am I going to do? Where do I go from here? And that organization that was in the book was there. And it just so happened that some people from a kibbutz spoke to this group that were congregating to invite and persuade some of those volunteers to choose their kibbutz, which was on the shore of the Sea of Galilee. So I heard all this and I said, I'll come. So I got in a car with two strangers and we drove for 2.5, 3 hours. And I arrived at this kibbutz that was my home for a month and a half. No planning. Taking one step forward and then another. And the magic unfolds before your very eyes. So don't plan and try and control a situation because you stop the flow of the magic. You stop the miracles from presenting themselves right in front of you. Because what is outside of the limits of your imagination is so much more breathtaking and beautiful. And talking of beautiful, part of my sister's visit and my absence from broadcasting was my sister and I and my beautiful wife Kathleen. We traveled to Maui for 8 days. I'd never been to any Hawaiian island before, and it was beyond my expectations to bask in the beauty of the sunsets and the beaches and the land, to be as if in the beauty of the painting rather than observing it. It was incredible. And I hold that in me now. Whatever changed, I know I'm not the same as I was before my visit. One of the highlights was spending the day on the beach and watching the sun go down, and then being in the water as the sun set, watching the pinks and oranges be reflected off every single ripple of the ocean. to be there with my beloved in that ocean, sharing such beauty and joy. The land just radiates love. It's just breathtaking. But the highlight for me was we visited Haleakala, the volcano, for sunrise. We set off at like 3 a.m. to drive an hour and a half up the mountain. And when we arrived, it was still dark. The stars shining, the moon illuminated. And we had time before the sun would rise. So we sat in the car. And as I tuned in to the energy of the volcano, it stands 10,000 feet. It blew my head off. Such love, such beauty, warmth. And I felt myself dissolve and expand into the entire footprint, emerging with the volcano. It was almost too much, but I had no edges. What a gift it was to feel myself from that perspective. And then as we watched the sunrise above the clouds, such a unique and beautiful experience, sharing it with all these people, all with such gratitude and joy in their hearts. We watched a new day begin from an elevated platform of living. It was a unique and beautiful experience. So I hope you can feel what I'm transmitting, all that I was given to share with the world, with you, my beloved friends. I know I will be back, but I am now forever connected. And it was like a kid at a fairgrounds who just didn't want to leave, just bathing in the energy. We are all that volcano, vast and mighty. There is no limit to our compassion, to our power, to our love. So share that love. Share the joy, the divinity, and the unique gifts that you came to this world to share. So thank you so much for joining me here today on this new and magnificent day. May your day, your week, your life be filled to bursting point with the love, with the light that you are. And in doing so, you give everyone a perfect life with perfect health and a truly magical future. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I am Adrian.